Robert Pattinson's Twilight Boy. Yeah, that's right. Him, Robert Pattinson, who everybody laughed at when they announced him. But I said, he's going to be a great pick. He's a great actor. He's fab. There's a reason all the top directors in Hollywood are lining up to try to work with this guy. He came out, the new Batman, smash success. Made north of 700, I believe. Can you double check that for me, Ray? How much? But I believe it was north of $700 million, or right around the $700 million mark. It was wildly beloved by most of the audiences. It gave us a very different look at Batman than we've had so far. What was it?
772.
772?
Yeah.
So closer to 8. Closer to 800 million. Big success for them. Everybody's excited for a sequel. Well, here's the problem. Because of the fact that there's a supposed, I believe, October 2025 release date, that's about a year and a half away. They certainly haven't started filming this thing yet. And Oscar nominee Jeffrey Wright, who of course plays Commissioner Gordon, he was great in the last one, was recently interviewed and said he hasn't seen a script yet. Which most people should know, hey, a lot of the times the actors don't get to see the script until they're just about ready to shoot. But being that as it may. So it started some whispers and rumblings. Many of you guys have probably seen it. And reports going around that, there are some whispers going around that the Batman has been canceled. That James Gunn, starting this brand new DCU, has decided he doesn't want this other Batman going. So, as fans will often do, a fan of James Gunn got on Threads and specifically asked James Gunn about it, and James Gunn responded. Here's the interaction. One of his fans on Threads wrote, "Hey, James, some people are spreading the conspiracy theory that you canceled the Batman 2. But I have to ask you, is it true?" To which James Gunn was just very short, very sweet. No. With eye-rolling emoji. No. With eye-rolling emoji. Which, Rob, the rumor itself makes no sense. Now, I can understand a rumor or report suggesting that October 2025 date might get delayed.
Sure.
I can get that, right? Because it's not in production yet. I don't know if we're anywhere close to it being in production. Matt Reeves has been focusing a lot on his Penguin series, which I cannot wait for. All that kind of stuff. But this movie was a smash hit at the box office. It was beloved by critics, beloved by audiences, and opened up a whole new potential universe. And James Gunn has said very definitively, I like the idea of having a big shared cinematic universe and having Elseworld films. So I think this definitively closes the book on that question about whether or not this movie is happening. Do you think any questions still linger? Do you think it is possible maybe that it could get delayed? I don't know. How do you see this?
Well, I mean, I asked Greg Fraser, the director of photography, on our own Designing Hollywood podcast that appears on the channel now. I asked him about this very thing before I'd even heard this rumor. I said, is there anything you can tell me about the Batman 2? And he said, I really don't know anything. And if he doesn't know anything and he shot the first one, there's no guarantee that he was going to be hired back. But here's the man who shot Dune 2, who shot The Creator, who shot Rogue One. You'd think, and he said, look, at this point, the way Hollywood works is I just wait until somebody hires me and says, this is when we're going to go. Here's where I'm going. And he said, so I really don't know. And I thought, well, that means that they don't know when he's going to get hired. He has no idea when something's going to happen. But he did seem to think it was going to happen. You can listen to it yourself and draw your own conclusions. I think it's a great interview. But I think, look, this movie was good. The Batman was good. I know that there's some people that are very vocal that don't like the way this played out. But I think, like you pointed out, Pattinson was great. The movie looks terrific. The tone of it was different. Certainly different than the Nolan movies and different than the Schumacher era and different than Tim Burton's. So it offered a very valid, very interesting look at Batman's early life. I certainly want to see another one. And I think most people do. And it 78 million, that's a very respectable box office number. So I would see, and even we all know that if someone says Matt Reeves is going to finish his Batman trilogy, if they want to introduce a new Batman that's canonically in the Batman universe, we will get it. Yeah. You know, John, I grew up reading Batman comics, and I would read Justice League with Batman. I'd read Batman and the Outsiders, which was pretty goofy, but I liked Jim Apato's art. That was happening concurrently. And then I would read the Batman individual comics. Sometimes they would cross over, sometimes they wouldn't. But I knew in my mind which was different. I could be like, you know, Batman and the Outsiders might not be the Batman that's appearing in Justice League this month, but that was okay. So I think this movie probably will get made, and I think that it'll be great.
It's important to point out too that Matt Reeves has never once remotely hinted that, oh, we might not do Batman. He's always said, I'm still working on this. I'm still working on this.
They're doing the Penguin show right now.
We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Fume. Quitting cold turkey is great in theory, but you and I both know it's way more difficult than that. And that's why there's a better way to break your bad habits. We're not talking about some fake online promises. We're talking about our sponsor, Fume. And they look at the problem in a different way. Instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative, award-winning flavor-air device that does just that. See, instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habit easy. I personally didn't know what to expect when I first got my Fume. I mean, I've never liked vapes, but my goodness, the taste. The first time I tried it, I was completely sold on it. It was incredible. Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 150,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason that can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com and use the code Campea to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com and use the code Campea to save an additional 10% off your order today.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you would think if they were going to cancel the Batman movie, they wouldn't proceed on with extending the universe of that movie.
I mean, that's what they're working on now. They're literally extending the Batverse with that series.
Yeah. And you know what? Simon, I cannot wait to see this. I think it's weird. I'm very excited to see whoever Batman is going to be in the new James Gunn films, the new James Gunn universe. Can't wait for it, but I love this Batman too. And I hope we get two Batman that we love.
Why not?
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.